take a paper and pen along with you people. So this is a
Right.
very humble request from my end. Just have a
Yes.
paper and pen, and good afternoon to one and all.
So I'll start, and then maybe you can just change it. I'll just give one line introduction. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So good afternoon to all of you. It's very nice to have the Alumni G-Meet series continued as part of the activity of the ISAG student chapter of Sastra, or as part of the schema, the Chemical Engineering Association of Sastra. And we have today a very illustrious alumni, Bhargav, from the 2014 graduate batch, on a topic which is almost every engineer, every person who is a student would like to know, because it is something to do with their job. Now, I have already shared the details of Bhargav. So, in the interest of that, I'll just at least make only two, three biographical sketch of Bhargav. Bhargav is from 2014 BTech Chemical Engineering batch. He got into placement, campus placement in Supergas. I think worked there for about 4+ years. He had a short stint abroad also. Eventually, he moved. He understood his interest from technical to HR, moved along the ladder of HR in many companies. He pursued his MBA in Alliance University. And in weeks from now, I mean, probably in just 2, 3 weeks from now, he's going to take up as an HR, if I'm not wrong, at Cognizant, right, Bhargav?
Accenture.
Accenture, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Accenture. He is going to go as a HR consultant. He's not only technically strong, he's very good in his people working skill, and I'm sure all the graduates will make the best use of this alumni meet and get to know what it makes really. Uh, I won't say to get a job, what you can do so that the job gets gravitated to you. Now, with the request of Bhargav, please keep a pen and paper, or digitally at least you have to take down notes, which is helpful for you. And any queries, please type in the Google Meet chat box, and that will be taken up by Bhargav towards the end. When you type your questions, please type your name and the year also, so that it is easy. So with us, thank you, Bhargav, for accepting the invitation and coming to grace the Alumni Meet event and sharing your inputs for all the juniors. Thank you. You can now share the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Just a minute. Okay. So is it visible?
I think it has to get shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is sharing, I suppose.
Okay.
Yes, it has shared. It's visible. You can carry
It's
on.
visible. First of all, thank you so much, Naren sir. And actually, I forgot a lot of things, but you made me to remember that books of Gate and then classroom notes and all. It's been quite long time. It's been almost 8 years. And yeah, and good afternoon to one and all. Once again, present over here. I think 77 plus participants are over here. So basically, I was looking at the areas in terms of what are the topics this was like covered in the G-Meet in the YouTube channel. I think 31 or 30 plus happened. So most of the areas which was like 80% or 20%, if I say a Pareto principle over there, so 80% about the journey of the different, my juniors or my seniors in terms of pursuing their higher education or how they have got into the so and so big universities or what kind of jobs they have landed, their experiences and all, which was most of the like 24 to 20 to 24 videos were shared on that topics. And 20% is a little different, which is very, I mean, like every G-Meet, whatever happened till now is more informative for the students, I mean, exclusively for the juniors. So today's my topic is also something a little different. And by the end of this session, I can say we will be learning a little something or the other, or there you will be taking it forward in terms of the HR round, what the expectations over there from the as a HR person, as a professional from the HR department. So based on my analysis of different the different areas where I have worked and different companies where I have worked, and some of the common gray areas which I have listed out, analyzed, which will not be available in a single set of, like I can say my notes will not be available or there on any of the websites. Though I have taken the content from bits and pieces from here and there, but in a single set of this nine areas which I am going to discuss, so which will be little different. I know the placement committee or the placement team from the university might have provided a session from the trainers, different trainers, related to your aptitude, related to the logical reasoning. If some booklets might have been given to you, and the sessions on shortcuts, how to do the aptitude, and other areas of the CV preparation. In case of CV, again, some of the tips over there for the interview process: be on time, comb your hair, business formals are mandatory, keep two copies of CV. Yes, these are all might you have already listened a lot from the from already the from the college placement team. So now today's my agenda is a little different. As I said, I'll be covering nine topics over here and nine areas. This is totally based on my observation and analysis of my past experience over there in the HR stream, and from the different colleges and different students which I have came across about their during the interview process. So I just want everyone to have a paper and pen with you, and there is a surprise at the end as well. I just want to see all those 75 plus participants, and to be frankly, and my PPT is very simple, and only nine slides are there. If you remove my first and last slide of thank you slide, and it is only nine slides, and I try to explain to each individual some of the areas which you might have not experienced it before, and with an example that will make you to understand easily. And once the session is over, please have a look at your CV, have a look at the points which are discussed, which are going to discuss over here. And those nine areas, I might be picking up randomly one person or anyone, I mean from your end initiative, that you can give the inputs as well, what's your understanding and all. So quickly jumping into out of the nine areas or the nine common gray areas which I was saying, like the first part is related to the topic name is we have mentioned is unlocking the success, the smart approach. So basically, what is smart? So if I want to say what is SMART, it's acronym of the SMART is like specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So I'll explain you the SMART in two different categories. It will be easy for you to analyze and understand as well. So first category is about your goals. Whenever you attend an interview process, there will be definitely 90% of the time the question will be there. What are your short-term goals and what are your long-term goals? So whenever you are explaining your goals, you have to use the principle of the SMART. So how is it how you need to use it? I'll elaborate with a live example of your might be final years, might be over here, or who are preparing for the gate. So I'll mention it over there. The first part over here is a specific. I want to crack gate exam. So gate exam is something which is a very specific competitive exam. So you are mentioning what you want to crack. That is the gate exam. That is very specific. And what is measurable? I want to crack the gate exam. It's fine. You want to secure all India rank 100, or you want to get a good marks of 800 out of the 1,000 points. Whatever you are speaking, whenever you have a goal, it should be measurable always over there. So it should be measurable and achievable. What does it mean? In order to achieve your goal of cracking the gate exam, of scoring of so and so points, how do you achieve that particular goal? That means you need online test series, coaching, or professor's guidance over there, material from the library, or team discussions or group discussions over there. So what are the areas or what are the ingredients or the inputs you required in order to achieve your particular goal? This is something which you need to keep in your mind. And realistic in the sense, like for example, in the case of this gate exam I'm saying, so October, now it's October, today is October 8th. I think gate happens in the year of, I mean, 2024 February or March, if I'm not wrong. So now it's 4 months is there. 4 months is sufficient time for you to crack the exam. So you'll be, it's a realistic goal where you can prepare an agenda of 2 months for preparing your concept clearance, 1 month for application for the test, I mean the unit wise test you can take, 1 month for the full time mock test, whatever you want you can consider over there, and last 15 days for the revision. Something, the goal which you have taken or considered a short term goal is a realistic one. It's not like tomorrow or next week you are having gate exam and you want to start preparation now. So which is not a realistic one over there. So whatever the goal you are chosen or you are pursuing currently, it should be a realistic goal, and it should be a time bound within the time frame, whether you are able to complete this or not. For me, 4 months might be sufficient for to crack the gate, but for some people it may take 6 months, or some people 1 month is sufficient. So just be online. I think some message popped up.
No, no, I have just
uh,
pinged. You carry on. If it is
yeah,
questions, I'll let you know at the
yeah,
end.
yeah,
Yes.
because I kept the screen full mode. I don't know how many
Yeah,
are
yeah,
there
you will not
also.
be able to see it, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
questions we'll take it at the end. You carry on.
Okay, okay. So this is about the SMART. So SMART is basically your specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Please ensure whenever you're going for an interview, what are your short-term goals, long-term goals, how to frame your short-term, long-term goals in this manner. This is something which we expect from a professional, a person who wants to pursue the career in any kind of organization. Because very vague answers we receive, like I want to crack competitive exams. Competitive means what? Matlab exactly what there are hundreds of competitive exams happens over there. I kept a lot of efforts. What does it mean by lot? It should be measurable over there. It's I said, like the example of next week you have a gate exam and you want to crack, you decided your short-term goal might not be possible, or it's not realistic. So whenever you go for an interview, please use this specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound for framing your short-term and long-term goals. This is first and foremost aspects which you might have not experienced. I'm expecting, I'm hoping, and please make a note of this. And coming to the second part of SMART, what does it mean? SMART sentences. So for this exclusively, I was thinking, keeping the freshers over here in the mind, and even the experienced persons also. If anyone over here, they can also make a note. So basically, what happens means in your CV, you have extracurricular, co-curricular column is there in your CV. The achievements column might be there. One internships, the heading or the column might be there. So whenever you're writing any sort of sentences, always keep in your mind these four aspects of what, who, where, when, or duration. Okay. So for this also, I just want to elaborate with an example. For example, you people have attended an Excel workshop. So many of the CVs I can see like attended Excel workshop. Excel is something having some 300, 400 plus of commands. It's not possible for you to cover over there in a particular a single day or whatever might be. So whenever you are writing any sort of a sentences, for example, of this workshop, what I mentioned, like people, what commonly they are doing the mistake over there in the CVs, attended Excel workshop. When you are writing this, try to understand, like you have attended workshop, what Excel workshop or basics of Excel workshop, who has conducted it, attended this Excel workshop conducted by XYZ Institute. Okay, or conducted by so and so forum or so and so, the online or whatever might be. Mention it over there. Where is it conducted? In case it has happened lively at the university, conducted at Shastra University on September 23rd and 24th of 2024. So when you are writing any sentences over there in your CV, please check out all these parameters are there or not. This is the very, very vague answers, vague sort of, the sentences which we see. And, I received an award for attended or participated in chess competition, for example. Okay, you participated in a chess competition conducted by so and so authority or so and so, university, and we have under so particular date. What is the duration and what is the particular date? And in case if you have received any prize or anything, okay, received Ambuja Cement Award under the category of the best paper and title of the paper, and you can mention it over there the year. So what I'm emphasizing over here is whatever the columns present or the headings present in terms of extracurricular, co-curricular achievements, awards, or the internships. When you are writing, for example, you have done the summer internship done titled, whatever the title, chemical looping combustion of coal, under the guidance of Dr. P.R. Narain at Shastra University, and the duration from April so and so to May so and so. So this will be giving an effect for us to understand, okay, he has done this project, under whom he has done this project, and what was the duration for this project. Suppose if I want to keep him for a project role, so whether he will be able to, to do whether this much duration, 6 months or 1 year projects, because some projects might be require long term duration as well. So in case of any sort of sentences, whatever you have mentioned after the session, please have a look at that, whether are you able to justify all these four parameters over there or not. This is very, very important. Please have a look at your CV. And as I said, like the Excel example, or in case of your internships, whatever you have done, try to understand what exactly you have done, or there in the terms of what is the title of that project, under whom guidance you have done, and what is the duration for that particular project, where you have done. In my case, I have done under Dr. Ganesh Kale at NCL, National Chemical Laboratories, Pune, and it was from December 22nd, 2013 to April 13 of 2014. So be clear on those aspects in your CV, and just don't write it just one line of attended so and so. And I mean, participated in chess competition. Everyone participated over there. So I mean, like I just want to why I'm emphasizing more and more means these are the many of the CVs which I came across over here. And then one last point in this first area I want to cover is quantifying the aspects. Quantifying is very, very, very important in the current data world. Whatever you speak, it should be in terms of data only, what I personally feel. If I say like I led a team, okay, you have led a team, or you have done a team, you have done coordinated with people for Prakriya event or XYZ event. How many people are there in your coordination part? How many people have you led in a team over there when you know, in your past experience? So it's very important to quantify the aspects over there when you are writing in terms of your sentences in the CV. This is one area, first and foremost, gray area. Please make a note of the points. One is about your SMART goals in your interview process. When someone asks you about the goals, or when someone asks you about short term or long term goals, be specific. What's your goal? What's it measurable, and how is it you are going to achieve that particular goal? And it should be a realistic and a time bound. And when it comes to sentences, second area, what I was said, what I was explained to you people, and any sentences when you are writing, try to understand, try to check out all these four parameters of what, who, where, and when, and when are the duration part, and the quantifying the aspects in case if you are writing over there in terms of your uh, this thing, like any area where you have led, or coordinated, or planned, or duration, the thing part. Okay, so this is the first thing. And coming to the part of second, psychometry test. Yes. So psychometry test, if I want to talk about this, like whatever the aptitude, critical reasoning, logical reasoning, this all you might have done it all here. Why this psychometry test? Recently, it has become very prominent. As I was saying, like many of the companies from the top FMCG companies, or their which are the companies currently, a lot of companies, even they are conducting this test for all the levels of the all the levels. I mean, like either a fresher or a middle level manager, or even a high level, or a level in the level of vice president, or whatever might be. So this test has become a very ritual, or I can say religiously they are following it. Why is it important in terms of psychometry test? Why, what's happening over there, what mistakes are going on? I'll tell you. For example, there is a salesperson, and the salesperson having there is a job role which is mentioned over there in the like Shastra University. There was a company came, XYZ company, and they mentioned the sales role opening over there in their organization, and the package was 15 LPA, 15 LPA, and everyone got, the people who are very good at skills and everything, they have understood, and they have started applying, cracked the JD, I mean the group discussion, sorry. And then the interview process also. In the interview process, there are some questions over there. For example, are you a person who takes initiative during your social gatherings? Then the person will say immediately, yes sir, I have taken the initiative in my past. Then they'll say, okay, are you a person who travels a lot? Yes, yes, definitely, every week I go outing, and also I am a person who goes every week outing. So if I ask these questions directly in an interview hall to a particular candidate, obviously what happens, there are chances, I don't say everyone want to grab the job opportunity, so they'll be saying like, yes, I have done this. Every answer will be yes, yes, yes only. Very few I can say, like, there might be the coming out a different perspective, a different answer. But in case of psychometry test, I can say the personality test exclusively, what happens over there is the same question will be asked in a different way, in a different format. For example, if I was saying over there, like the example of a salesperson only. So in the case of, I'll be mentioning a question in this way, like in the sense like, okay, it was raining over there, and there was some important work, and you want to leave the place, and you want to attend so and so call. and some question which is mentioned over there like that. And secondly, you are in your past experience, you have gone for a trip where it was temperature was so and so, this thing, have you experienced it or not? Some sort of a questions where you will be coming to know, I mean, this kind of questions will be asked for a single concept in order to understand whether you're a person who is a traveler or not. In a different way they will be putting it over there, and try to connect those dots whether the answer is same for all those questions or not. In the case of, for example, manufacturing plant, if person who is very good at research work is an individual contributor, and who is very good at academics in terms of the chemical engineering, CRE, thermodynamics, everything he knows in and out and all, and that person has attended for the some personality test, he might have failed for xyz reason. That reason might be one of the area, might be like one of the thing which we found it out there was like he's a person who can contribute individually, who has a very good academic knowledge, who is fit for that research area oriented kind of work. But when it comes to the plant, in the manufacturing plant, you have to talk to people, you have to interact with the blue collar employees. So these kind of things, whichever requirement there for the particular role, will be asked in a different way in the psychometry test. So in simple way, if I want to say, you will not be knowing which question related to what, except the examiner who has prepared the question. And there are a lot of questions will be repeated, and a lot of questions which related to a single concept. And in this case, it is always better to be yourself. If you are an introvert, be an introvert only. You cannot write it. Or if suppose if you want, if you know that particular role is for XYZ and you want to write it an extrovert, there are questions which you might not be knowing, or sentences which related to the the extrovert questions. So in this case of personality test, as I was saying, like 7 to 8 universities of MBA recently also have conducted a pool campus, and then there we have qualified only a handful of students over there. And because one of the main reason is they failed, or they, I don't say they have failed, because of they are not fit for that particular role. And secondly, they have kept the same scenario, different answers. That means they're changing their mindset for question to question, but the concept is the same over there. So I just want every one of you, when you're applying for any particular role, when you're taking for a personality test, please be yourself. If you're an introvert, it's fine, mention it over there. If you're an extrovert, please, okay, it's fine. When you are writing it over there, or when you are mentioning the option, whatever the present over there, so then try to manipulate, because the same concept is questioned in a different way, which you might not be knowing how those questions are interlinked. If I say like 50 questions are there, first, 7th, 11th, 13th, and 34th question might have a link over there. So if you don't know that which one is related to which, some of the questions are like that. So better when you get a thought of looking at the question, and you get in your mind like, I'm a person of this so and so, if I don't talk to people, I don't interact with so and so, or I'm not a person who have never handled a blue collar or any coordination have done for, the question will be very simple. In your past experience, like when you have shifted the house, or at that time the workers might have been there, how was your experience? You might have got a very bad experience, you might have mentioned, oh, there, no, this is you might have not experienced, also mention it, there is an option like not experienced. So I mean, what I want to say in conclusion of this personality test is like, be yourself, and don't try to change yourself because of the particular role and all. And because if you're fit for that role, definitely you will be getting that for the further levels or further rounds of the interview. So that's something, the uncomfortable truth of this personality test. So this is the second area which I thought like many people are lacking, or many students over there are not able to understand it, why they got behavioral test or the personality test got failed or something like that. And it's absolutely fine in case if you have not got cleared for this particular role, might be you're not fit for that particular role. You are not a person who goes outside and working over there for 45 degrees, under the 45 degrees or 50 degrees centigrade temperature, and the role is like that, means it's fine. You instead of facing the consequences later, burning the hands over there later, better you have got it, stopped it at the initial stage itself. So this is one thing which I want to emphasize, the second area. And the third area is the importance of CV. So you might have already known a few aspects, but I just want to say one important aspect, like any CV as a, this is a research also, which is research proven, and which are data, I mean, like the McKinsey and all, like a lot of companies which have done the research as well, other companies as well. So the recruiter normally takes 7 seconds to 10 seconds to have a screen at your CV. So that means if I get a CV in my hand and I just want to look at the CV, I just take 7 seconds to 10 seconds to see whether to go ahead with the CV or not. That means I'm not saying your CV should be very colorful and all, something your photos should be there or you should have to write, nothing like that. Try to keep an impact over there in your CV. And as I said, like the previously, the smart sentences is present over there or not, or otherwise in terms of your achievements, you have a very good achievements, try to bold it over there. And the first call, if you have good academics, try to keep the tabular column in the top of the your CV. That makes, the good, very good impression for the people. Okay, let me go through it for the next further details what is mentioned, because the 7 seconds to 10 seconds is a very minimal time. So that within that time you have to grab the attention getter you need to get for the from the recruiter side. Means try to keep your CV very simple, crisp, and have a one page CV. This is what my suggestion. I'll show it to you one page CV. How does it looks like as well? So this is one important aspect you should know. Like people might be, some people might be knowing as well, but I just want to say that 7 to 10 seconds what the recruiter takes for to screen a CV. And the second part is a job description. This is a very, very, very different thing, which I, whenever I call or whenever I used to sit for the interview, I mean like the conduct the interview, many of the people don't read the job descriptions. I sincerely request anyone who is applying for any job, please make a note of summary of 2 3 lines. I know you might be applying for hundreds of jobs, 50s of jobs, 50 plus of jobs, whatever might be. When you read the job title, at least, okay, what, just go through the roles and responsibilities mentioned over there. And whenever you get a call from any sort of outside, or when you go for any interview at the campus placement as well, try to understand what is present in the job description, what are the terms mentioned over there, what kind of application what you studied in the curriculum is applicable over there in what aspects. So try to know about your job description very clearly. This is very important aspect. If you are doing, it's well and good, but when you're applying for outside through Naukri or any other websites, or you just click on apply button, okay, it's done. But when you're applying, before, just have a look at 2 3 minutes of and make a note of your summary of what's your understanding on the particular job role. This is one area. And yeah, skills are very important to mention in your CV. If you have both the technical skills as well as the professional, I mean like soft skills, both are very much needed to mention it over there. And I mentioned ATS here. What does it mean? Means application tracking system. So basically, two areas I just want to emphasize over here. So application tracking system is something like, if I keep your CV and suppose your skill sets of 80% or 70% of your skill sets are matching over there with my requirement, then your CV will be shortlisted and it will be going for the further rounds. So what my sincere request is, when you are applying for any sort of a job role, see what kind of skill set they are required and what's your CV is having. If you have the same set, or if same set of my skill set, then you try to apply for that. There are chances like 70%. We keep a normal criteria of 70%. If it matches, try to shortlist for the further rounds for the calling to the candidate. So try to understand that the current, the technology which is growing very exponentially, and the system will be taking automatically all these things. So your skills should be matched with the whatever the role which you are applying for that. So if it's not there, if but if you have not mentioned in that particular in your CV, try to mention all those details as well. And I mentioned keywords in the bold letter. This is exclusively, I mean, this is what my uh, input which I observed, that helped me in many of my interviews. So when I'm saying the keywords in bold letter, when I apply for any sort of management roles, for example, you're applying for a operations role, or if you're applying for a sales or marketing, so many of the management roles require the management aspects, like for example, communication or leadership qualities, or you have the negotiation, or you have led a team over there in your past. Try to use these words and try to bold it all those things, so that will be helpful in terms of when we look at the CV in that short span of time, it will be easy for us, like, okay, this is fine for us. I mean, the some areas of what our requirement is there is already has done it or there in the past. So this is just a very I mean like eye catchy sort of thing, because it's 7 seconds, as I said, like it's a very minimal time. So for that sake I mentioned it, and it worked for me in many times. And yeah, so the smart approach also, as I said, like the sentences, what, when, whom, what is the duration, and quantifying the things is very much needed in case of smart approach sentences. And at the last, I'll show you the one page CV. You might be, all of you might be having it, but I just want to say, like, one page is something which the top notch institutes are there in India, and everyone is following this one. And the application tracking system, the software which is being used by many of the companies also have the same, when they scan it, and that will be, it will be two page, three page, it's not a problem. But going through your CV within that 7 to 10 seconds, the first page itself, it will take the time. So try to compress and keep it in a single page, and it's fine. Even the people who have, I mean, lots of experience also, they have one page CV also. So it's not like we need to have a bundle of 4 or 5 pages or something like that. And basically, CV and resume, if I want to say differences, this is what I have learned from different places or different the platforms like LinkedIn and all, about the as a being the HR professional. So CVs are something where you have a detailed explanation, and you have a detailed things about what the work you have done, or they, it might be go for beyond 3 pages or 2 pages as well. For example, if a professor is there and professor is applying for a particular role in UK, this is mainly in the UK, they follow this difference of CV and resume. So if someone has applied for a particular professor role in UK, and they ask the CV, so they will be expecting that what kind of papers they have published, what is the role experience, what kind of subjects they have taught, a little more detailed thing. So this is one example of CV where normally in the abroad country, exclusively in the UK only. And resume is something which one page, which will be which is normally is a thumb rule sort of thing, which we follow in case of in our country and many other countries as well. So this is a very basic thumb rule wise, you can see the difference between the CV and the resume, which even I learned from the LinkedIn different sources. I mean, different trainers over there. This is what the given, I mean, broader perspective about the importance of CV. And these are the common gray areas, as I said. Yeah, I mean, like, fewer common gray areas in terms of your skill sets you have mentioned in your CV, or the job description, whatever the roles and responsibilities you have mentioned, or they, I mean, mentioned in this JD, and whether you are aware of that or not. And the smart approach sentences, and your CV should be a simple and crisp of one page. So this is one area. This is the third part. I am not going first, I think. So I'll be going for the next slide. Yeah. Okay. So this is the fourth area which I want to emphasize about. This is even as I was saying, like, even the HBR, MIT have done a lot of work over there. It's a very good method, which I liked it a lot. And many of the I can say, like, many of my friends, or when we go for any interview, we try to use this STAR method consciously in the interview process. So what does it mean? STAR method means, so basically, STAR stands for S for situation, T for the task, A is for the actions what you have taken, R is the result. I'll give you a basic simple example so that you can use this method for everywhere. When you are going for any interview, you can start applying the STAR method. So let's take one of the soft skill, like, for example, in the interview process, they have asked me, like, Bhargav, tell me the negotiation skills you have mentioned as one of your soft skills. How can you justify, like, this negotiation skills about this particular aspect or the particular skill? How do you want to elaborate on this aspect or on the skill? So negotiation, they have given asked me. So for example, in this case, I'll be taking an example, like, the Prakriya event is there. Okay, Prakriya, I don't know the current name, but previously it was in our batch, it was Prakriya, which is a chemical engineering related department first. So in that fest, but I'm giving a scenario or the situation to the person. So there was a event called Prakriya, which happens every yearly once in our university, and it is exclusive for the chemical engineers who are from different universities can participate over there, and we conduct the presentation, poster and paper presentations. This was the background of that scenario or situation. The task given by Dr. Narayan, Professor Dr. Narayan, for us is to get the t-shirts printed with the Prakriya logo, with 100 t-shirt, and our budget is for 10,000 rupees. So 100 rupees per t-shirt, and 10, I mean, like, 100 rupees per t-shirt, and we have 100 t-shirts, we want to get it, and 10,000 was our budget. This was the task given to me. And what are the actions I have taken, in the sense, in the star, what A stands for actions. So what actions I have taken at the time was, I got the quotation from different suppliers available in Trichy area, and I got four quotations. Out of these four quotations, all four quotation in terms of providing more or less around 11,000 was the highest price, and 10,500 was a minimum, bare minimum they were ready to provide. So after that, I started analyzing what is the type of the material, what is the time, how much time they will be taking, what is the the manpower, or what are the in terms of the stitching process, how much it is going to take time, and what kind of quality of the material they are using, what is the raw material, how much it happens over in the market. A little analysis I have done. Based on that, I came to know like it is like 85 rupees at max they might be getting the cost involved, and 10 rupees of profit of 95. And I gave them the details of when I'm negotiating with them. The way how I approached it was XYZ, and I informed them like that we'll be getting some other orders in the future as well, or some other technical symposiums are happening in the university of other departments, where you might be getting the chances or orders in case if this quality of the cloth and the way if you're providing to us. So in the some XYZ reasons I mentioned, and then in that way I negotiated, and I brought the price from 10,000 to 9,500, or whatever might be, 10,500 to 9,500. So which was previously 100 rupees per t-shirt was the cost, which was 10,000 was given as a budget, and now I got it for the 95 rupees, and I negotiated. These are the XYZ steps I have taken it over there. As a result of which, what you got your material on time, you got your price, you got your the output also at the lower cost with the with the same quality what your expectations are there. So R is nothing but your result. So whenever you are doing any sort of whenever anyone asks you the skills, try to give an example of your past, whether it might be a professional or it might be your personal related aspect. Try to give it in terms of like most of the areas I try to provide them the events happened, or their class representative leadership, or their leadership is class representative, how I handled, or their the problem solving in terms of using the star technique. I mean, when you're explaining in the interview process, use the star technique. So this is something which is very important for anyone, any skill. If someone asks you, try to analyze, introspect yourself, try to get the inputs of your past, whatever the events you have participated in the classroom or whatever might be. So problem solving is there. There might be some issue, or there you might have done a lot of research works or any sort of events you might have participated, and those events, what was the scenario of the event or situation of the event, what was the task. Okay, I want to reduce the the human intervention of, I mean, I want to reduce the manpowers from 9 hours to 6 hours for this particular task was given, and what are the actions you have taken, XYZ 1 2 3 points list out, and as a result of these actions taken, what was the result you have received. Okay, so I want you people to start using the star method, which is very very helpful, and you can consciously talk about only what you want to convey. So that's the one of the fourth area which I thought like, and these are the top soft skills which normally the HR professionals we expect from a fresher or any sort of any sort of experienced as well. So next, coming to the part of the fifth area. Yeah. So in the fifth area, it is about the job portals, tips and tricks. So what exactly I want to say first, and the three things I want to cover in this. If you want, you can make a note. This will be very helpful for you, because as a recruiter, as a HR professional, I have experienced. I know the pain of the other, being an empathetic towards the others person. I was there in their place as well. So somehow I can understand. So many people applied for so many jobs, but they are not getting, or they're not getting any calls or something like that. So for those, I mean, these three things which have worked out many times for many of the professionals. So that's why I'm giving these three tips. So in case of job portal, first and foremost is in LinkedIn or Naukri or any website, whenever you are going to upload your profile, try to utilize or try to update each and every column whatever relevant to you. For example, on LinkedIn, if you open the project session, if you there is a section called as in the projects. Under the projects, you can mention the name of the project, who are the co-authors of that particular project, or you have done solo, you can mention alone your name. And there is a description part, even in the case of Naukri also, or even in LinkedIn also, any sort of certification you have done, or you have done any sort of a internship, what kind of work you have done over there, what was the objective and what was the output of that project, and what a little description about. Yes, there might be confidential data, I don't want to reveal what are the temperature parameter, pressure, xyz. If it is that much, then don't don't need to mention it over there. But try to, when they have given you 1500 words, the blank space, try to utilize that space. I'll tell you why and how is it going to helpful. So the first and foremost point for every person who is over there in the current meeting, first of all, when you are writing or when you're you are signing up for any sort of portal, please be patient and try to upload as much as details whatever you are having in your hand. So this is one area in case of LinkedIn or Naukri. If you see LinkedIn, you can keep so many things, and it's not possible to update in one day. I'm saying very clearly. It, for example, in my case, the way how I have approached, I can tell you. So in case of LinkedIn, there are a lot of sections, even for the courses, what you work for, what kind of projects, what achievements, what competitive exams, what research projects, what publications you have. So many things are there in the on LinkedIn to upload it out there. So I can't I'm not a person who can sit continuously work on the same thing for 9 10 hours sometimes, and unless until it's an important task. So what I have done was, I sat 3 hours every day in a week. I try to understand and realize, introspect on myself, like what I have done in my past on so and so areas in this college. Okay, what and all I have done it over there. In case of projects, what kind of projects I have handled, what was the objective of the project, what was the how I have approached that project, and then what was the output of that project. So I understood, like analyzed, and then I started keeping every day 3 hours, and I got the time during my before joining the B school. So as a result of which, what happened was I updated my whole profile in that way. So till now, even today, I get the calls for the process engineer roles, because why, if I want to say the reason why is, like many of the keywords or many of the job description areas or the skills what they have mentioned, it is already reflecting over there in my the description area. As a result of which, the system will be automatically triggering an email or a message to, it had happened to me many times that you have done already in this area, so you might be fit for this role, you can apply for this particular role. So in a nutshell, if I want to say, so in whatever the portals you are signing up, please upload all your details, don't miss anything. If they have provided you any description column, please mention it all over there in this the respective columns or respective areas. And first point. Second point, out of three I was saying, the second point is, as a recruiter, what I always prefer is, when I open my system and any of the of these portals mentioned over here, exclusive Naukri and LinkedIn I use when I was doing the campus hiring. And also what I use, we prefer as a recruiter is, first and foremost, there are so many options of filter will be available. I choose only two options over there. First option is, normally, like I, in the sense, like the recruiters, we choose the exclusively, the first option is who is the immediate joining. So most of you people are freshers, you might be immediate joining, or you might be joining, after your graduation also, you might be applying the jobs, and you might be mentioning that option will be available, whether you are joining within 15 days or 30 days or 60 days, whatever might be. So you might be, or most of you, or will be the immediate joinees. So immediate joinee is the one thing which I choose the filter option out of so many filter options. Second thing, who have updated their profile on time, like recently, who have updated their profile. These two makes me to understand as a recruiter who are the active job seekers. Active job seekers in the sense, like who doesn't have a job in their hand and who wants to, who are in the process of securing a good job for a good role in a good organization. So those people only will be doing the everyday portal opening and then applying for different jobs and updating their profile on time to time basis. So somewhere I personally like this happened, and even now, because my the previous organization, and it was a last working day was on 6th. I can show you, I cannot show you the emails and all. I got 6 to 7 calls over there. Even for the freshers also nowadays, it's very important. Like when you're updating your profile time to time, and you're mentioning over there the properly about your description of all the areas wherever relevant, whatever relevant to you, the chances of clicking and converting or getting a call from these websites will be very very high. And please ensure to, when you are doing it, just don't do like internship at NCL, National Chemical Laboratories at Pune, or or you have done a project titled on XY. See, it's okay, fine. But when they have given you the option for to mention the details a little or brief it about that, so try to do it. And the way how I approach, I said, like it's not possible to do it in a single day, but take some time, fill one section one day, allot some, dedicate some particular time for that, and do it. And definitely, I mean, those options of what I said, like the filtering options when we filter, and as well as the application, I mean the system where the background of the, the technology, how it's currently working is also, when many of the keywords or many of the aspects of the candidate JD and sorry candidate CV and the JD is matching, chances of getting a auto triggered message or email to you people will be very high. Okay, so this is another area I thought of informing, because it's from the recruiter point of view. And yes, so elevator pitch. So elevator pitch is something everyone might be knowing. I think this was a buzzword which even we at Shastra, when we were in 2014, I think I remembered, we are aware of this. I mean, we were using this word of elevator pitch. Basically, in elevator pitch, 60 seconds or 1 minute or 2 minutes they'll be provided to you. You need to talk about, you introduce about yourself, or whatever might be you want to speak in that particular time frame. This is fine. You might have done all these things in the past, or introduce about yourself in simple word, if I want to say. But at the same time, when we, as a recruiter, what we expect from you, most of the cases or scenarios, this is a live example. Luckily I have removed that company name also. So this was one of the company where I have this is and this is a very prominent and predominant over there in most of the US and Canada based country, I mean, companies. So this started, and even more during this pandemic time, I can say many of the companies they have started using this elevator pitch. And what you exactly you need to do, yeah, live elevator pitch and recording also, both will be there. So recording in the sense like you need to record a video for 3 minutes. So in that 3 minutes video, what you need to do is you need to introduce about yourself, and they're very specific about what you need to introduce about yourself also. And you have to review the company website, and you have to talk about what you understand by about the company, what they are into, and what are the products and services, and in a very layman wordings you can explain. And what do you think about, why do you think about, you would be the right fit for the particular job. So basically, this might not be mentioned in some of the areas. They might be mentioned the 3 minute video about introduce about yourself, if also might be mentioned over there. So but if you are right, if you're talking about the company, or if you're talking about why do you want to join that particular company, and in a very crisp manner and simple, in a simple way, that will makes us to drag the attention, like okay, okay, the person is ready to speak about the company, he's ready, he's talking about why he wants to, particular fit for that particular role. So we try to give the attention. I mean, attention getter is nothing but we want to show, we don't want to skip the video, or we don't want to pause it on or something like that, and we want to listen or complete the whole video, in case if there is a hitches or gaps or there in terms of your communication skills as well. So but it's very important, as a, I mean, like, so from the recruiter point of view, we check about the communication skills, and what you want to convey the process, it should be clear and crisp. And it should be that what you want to convey in that particular time frame of the 3 minutes or 1 minute, it should be very time bound. In within that particular time frame, you have to convey a lot of things, but in a very simple and crisp manner. And it should be, I mean, the recruiter, I mean, we need to get that attention getter part as well. So that means you should have to provide us that interesting aspects, or something which makes you to, some people may like the diversity and inclusion is something the company is doing over there, and which is the very extraordinary thing which very few companies you can mention over there in your, why do you want to fit for that particular role. That will, because if you have a diversified mindset, diversified people over there, and that will help you in terms of getting more innovative ideas. So I mean, based on your own wordings and own things, you try to put it this elevator pitch in a very clear manner. But my thinking, or my way of I mean, like, the things which we have analyzed, and we have, as a being from the HR team, what we checks over here is, like, these are the main things, like communication skills, simple and crisp, it should be time bound, attention getter, and clear on your objective. Why do you want to fit for, I mean, join for the organization, why do you, or how do you feel like fit for that particular role. And last two, like, this is for everyone, anyone, whoever might be, like whether fresher or experienced or whatever might be. So it's a current agile environment, as I said, like the technology is not no more, it's linear, it is going exponentially. And it's always have I mean, like, you should be aware of what's the current trends going in, or there in the, in your particular field, or whatever the role you are applying. and digital transformation everywhere of post the pandemic time. And when the pandemic started itself, COVID time, a lot of things have digital transformation happen, which no one has thought in that way it will be. But what's going on over there in your particular field, or at least if you are want to pursue in a chemical engineering, or if you want to pursue over there in terms of management aspect, whatever might be. So digital transformation, where and all it's happening. And human versus technology, this is very important. So when I was working for one of the my previous organization in Saudi, one of the area where we have reduced a lot of human interventions over there, where when a tank got filled, very simple things, but though it might be already the many companies might have adopted over there, but the things were not implemented in that particular organization. But we have started analyzing a lot of things which manpower is not required, where we can do the automation. So those kind of things you need to check out in your particular area. And AI in your field, I'm just mentioned it over here because the buzzword over there everywhere, every field, AI. So in HR, as a person, I should someone ask me, I should be able to answer like a lot of aspects which currently going on in the AI. And yeah, whatever the data, whatever the books you are reading, it should be authentic data. When you are referring something, what kind of journals, like chemical engineering world is one of the journal, but whatever might be, you if you're going through some journals, try to know what journals, who was the author, what books if you are reading, who's the author of that books. Even the textbooks, author books also, author names also have been asked in many interviews. CRE, I still remember, I think it was in Abu Dhabi, one of a company when I was attending. So they have asked me this CRE, the textbook, whatever you, this red color. I remember it was Arabic guy, and he asked me like. So it's very important to know about the roots also. I just want to emphasize on this aspect, and the online portals. Check out whether the data is authentic or not, how they are getting it, and all. And forums, yeah, you might be already a part of the IICHE. So like what's going on over there recent, if you have mentioned in your CV like you are a member of Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers, you should be aware that what recently happened over there, what kind of events, and have you attended anything, and what kind of programs they provide to the students. So at least a basic understanding it should be there, because these are things you mention or there it might be in the CV, but you're not aware of what happened. It's very, very different in the interview hall. So that's the thing at the end. Yeah, it should be a simple language and anyone can understand. So don't use too much jargons and all. Yes, it's fine, but try to understand the other person who is there in the interview hall. Suppose even the HR round, if you're using a very different terminologies and not able to understand adiabatic process, I have done these that, it's fine, but try to make them to understand in a very simplistic simple way. It's a very important thing over there in during your HR round. I mean, like anyone who is the other person or the interview member, panel member, should have to try to understand the other person's background, and then you have to speak. So this is something which I thought like to. It might be knowing that it should be there, and like you can make a note of this. And yeah, the last part of this is I know. Many of the people might not be writing the notes and short notes or whatever might be. I mean, like, so I personally prefer to write the notes because there are various reasons. I want to say in college, I used to write because I don't want to take away, I mean, someone to grab my attention for the some other XYZ things. So as Naren sir was also saying about our batch and all, so I survived. He used the word survived. So something like somewhere I felt, yeah. I mean, like it won't deviate me from any other thought process. That is one of the main reason during those times. And if I get sleep also, I don't want to, because I just want to make a note of each and everything. Yes, as I said, like even I used to mention the date and when professor is absent as well. So basically, pocket diary or notes when coming to the point of this interview process, if I want to say, when I said the soft skills, I gave an example of the STAR method. I mean, like the STAR technique, which you can use it, and I gave example of Prakriya, even negotiating skill and how is it happened. I mean, so when you have some soft skills, if you have mentioned over there the skill alone, it's fine in the CV. It have mentioned it, but when someone asks you, you might not. We might start thinking at that moment. So I prefer personally try to make that examples, don't write in detail, just make a note of that. Under this, what are the scenarios? For example, you have coordinated, you have mentioned it, or there is one of your this thing. So for the coordination, what kind of coordination? Okay, during this particular tech fest, I have during this workshop, I have coordinated with 7 8 people of the external people from outside from the college who have attended for that workshop, and make them ensure that the activities are followed on time, whatever might be. So everything, whatever you have, whatever the skills you are having in terms of the soft skills, I personally recommend you people just have a snippet or any sort of a flashcard or something like that, and try to make a note of those things, so that it will be easy for you not to miss out any points. Because even I have done this mistake. So whenever they say optimization, I used to talk about in terms of man hours only. But I have done a optimization where the 18 lakhs of the organization inventory was having a deviation. It was made it to reduce in a different manner approaching XY. But I never spoke those things because I never have written those things somewhere and journal or there. So better always try to keep your pocket diary or notes exclusive for the interview times. And hobbies, yeah, hobbies. People are writing so many things, but when we dig deep into those things, but no one is ready to answer even their area of interest, what they have mentioned as their hobbies as well. So I just want everyone, in case if I have mentioned, if you have not mentioned, it's fine. Even I don't mention any sort of hobbies because I, apart from a sort of a bookworm, if I want to say myself, and but I don't have much of the, apart from the corporate social responsibilities, or the NGOs I work for remaining and all, I never went. I don't have any hobbies, so I don't want to mention it in that particular column, apart from one or two which I am having. So better in your case also, I just prefer, I mean, I want to say, I want to inform you students, like to make a note of this and have a, for example, you have mentioned as cricket, what was a recent match happened and who was the player, why do you like that player, what kind of, what aspired you to be, to be like him or her or whatever might be. So try to keep it in your pocket diary, this aspect. And this is very important, objective and output of the following areas. So as I said, like you mentioned, attended a workshop at Sastra University conducted by XYZ Institute on 22nd and 23rd of October 2024 or 2023, whatever might be mentioned. Now when someone sees your resume or CV, they might be asking you the question, okay, what you learned from that workshop, or what was the, why did you attend that workshop? For any sort of thing, please be have your objective and output in your diary. I attended the workshop. What objective was to make my process simpler over there, and because I am currently pursuing, so it will be helpful for various data analysis. So this was the objective, and the output at the end of the workshop, I learned 25 plus commands, and this helped me in the current recently also for doing a particular project. Instead of XYZ time, I have done it in a lesser time over there. So whenever you are doing any, whenever you are attended any workshop, any certification or any internships or research projects, please be clear with your objective and output. And output, as I said, like research project you have done, okay, this was a research project, was objective was to reduce the the time, or whatever might be, reduce the cost of that, or reduce the timeline for the campus hiring, which was a the research project objective. And then output was, we came to know that the people are taking over their time because they get multiple offers, and this was the output of that particular. So when you are doing any sort of projects or any sort of internship certificates, make a note in your diary, 2 3 lines of what is your objective and what is your output. Description you can give on your own words, but these two are very important, we expect from your from the candidates. And the achievements part, yes, make a note of your achievements as on when we achieve something. And the SWOT analysis. So SWOT is, you might be knowing, strength and weaknesses. Basically, I would have mentioned strengths and weaknesses, because opportunities and threats are also there, that it comes when it was the organization part. But make sure what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. Make a note of your in your diary, that will be helpful. And with an example, again, I'm saying it's not a dummy example again, okay, and it's more about your experiences, what you have done in your past, and try to introspect yourself. That will be helpful in terms of getting all those things. So that is another thing. And the current trends, as I said, like previously, the AI is going on, the human versus the technology which is happening over there. So ensure to make a very crisp points of bullet points in your diary, so that whenever you have an interview, so when you get a call over there, it will be easy for you to refer it. And please, though, I mean, I know you people might be doing using the iPhone or whatever the phones, or you well, all Gen Z kids, so you might be all on typing and doing in the laptop and all. It's fine, but somewhere I personally recommend, and it helped me a lot. And people, I mean, like my friends also, who have done this thing, I mean, it helped us a lot. So these are some things related to your interview process. It should be handy, and it should always be in your pocket diary or your notes, wherever, whichever the things which you are having, right? And coming to the last part, like these are the 9 areas of whatever I have discussed till now. So started with the SMART, and then about the psychometry I talked, and then about the importance of the JD, I mean, like the CV. And I have discussed about your skills for the STAR method. And what about this job portals? What are the 3 areas in the job portals? Okay, and then I mean, like the Gen Z, now it coming to the part of the Gen Z generation, and I kept it because I'm not into this thing. Most of you are for this 96 born to 2012 or 2010. So I just want you people to take this not as suggestions wise. So ask questions, and don't be always, it's not always an individual contributor. Because of looking at the various, the employees and this thing, I just felt like, you should have to ask questions and introspect yourself. What's your objective? Why do you want to pursue that? What was the reason for that? It's always better to have an introspection about yourself, at least monthly once. I do the same way, because I have done this one mistake in my first initial 1 or 2 years, where there was no much value addition to the organization for the work I was, I mean, like, not, no, I was working on the areas. Somewhere I felt like, no, even more I want to improve. So in that way, I started every monthly once. I write a diary about what I learned, what I contributed to the organization, how is it going to impact. So introspect yourself. It's very important, because it's currently we are going, but somewhere we need to stop and we need to start think, look at back, and then do it. For the introspection is very much needed. Be down to earth. This is one way which I always feel, and it's always hard work, smart work, and dedication as well. So smart work is something like, as I said, like you might not be working alone or there for a particular thing. You have to take help, and you have to talk to your seniors, ask them the questions. This is something called as smart work. So before going, if you would have had done before, you would have got it. Don't feel like that. Some company is coming, someone is there in on LinkedIn. So talk to them, ask them if they are ready to approach or ready to help you out. So both should be there. I personally feel, and dedication as well. So much of things you mentioned, but if there is no dedication, it's not going to work out. So the next part is learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is something pandemic is an. I mean, even I am an eye opener for this, because of doing my MBA at the late, after having 5.5 years of experience. And it's okay to fail or to do mistakes, but learn from those mistakes. This is very important. Don't give up and all. Okay, kar diya, it's over now, I cannot know, nothing like that. So you can, you should start learning from those, why it's happened, how it happened, and what are the areas you need to improve. That's very important. It comes under the introspection itself. And the current world is full of data speaks a lot. So when you're talking to anywhere, any interview process or anyone, when you're saying something, be specific, quantify the things, and talks about the data. That's very helpful in terms of cracking the interviews. And networking, as per the we HR professionals are from, as per the organizational behavior point of view, one of the very important skill, or there for a managerial role. I mean, this is for your future. Networking plays a very important skill, more than the communication part. Previously it was communication was the first position, but networking is currently, it's playing a very important role. So when you are doing the chemical engineering, suppose in my case, I was done from Alliance University, and I used to talk to XLRI students, or from the top IIMs, or there, how is it going, what kind of curriculum they are having, what kind of companies they are approaching. Because somewhere I feel like, okay, I can also, I might be there if I would have kept a little more effort for the cracking the CAT exam. But I mean, like, to talk to the people, understand the things, why there is a differentiation in terms of the things how happening over there and here, or what kind of extra skills you need to get it to that reach that particular position, or so the networking plays a very important role. And this one area which is very important when you go for the higher levels as well. And as I said, like, yeah, after 2016, I don't think so any diaries over there, Abhirami Xerox shop. So I came to know that also. So when I contacted that Xerox shop people, they said like after 2016, no one from chemical engineering department is providing a notebook for the Xerox purpose. So I wish I can see at least for the future thing, like writing a diary. I mean, like notes or a diary is very important for you people. Whatever might be doing a soft copy or those things, but I personally feel to make a note in your book. So there's some areas which I thought of informing you. This is the thing. And the last part of this is like, yeah, thank you so much for everyone. So I know it. I thought like I do want to complete it exactly by 1 hour. I think I took exactly it's 1 hour only. So this is my contact number and my LinkedIn profile and my mail ID and my Insta account, Facebook account. Everything is mentioned. So if anyone wants any kind of support, I'm happy to help you people. If in case of LinkedIn profile, how to build or how what kind of scenario based questions HR round, and in case of MBA pursuing, if you want to pursue what kind of interest, how can you which subjects you want to take it over there in general management or in terms of HR area. There are a lot of things in HR also: learning and development, talent acquisition, campus hiring, performance. Many are there in HR. If you if you have the passion towards an MBA in HR also, I'm happy to help you out in terms of colleges or in terms of like what is exactly there in HR and why do you want to and how to introspect yourself, and CV and job portals, because I got a little grip from, even I have got a training from the Naukri and other portals, other company job portals as well. So somewhere I know a little about to help you out at least for the fresher level. So you feel free to contact me, and I'm happy. I'm like, if you gather 4 5 people and then you can ping me on my, I mean, like my WhatsApp number on to my Gmail ID. I'm very happy to help you out on any of these areas mentioned over there. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
So, Bhargav, it was very detailed from HR. So,
Yeah.
uh, I would ask the students to post the questions in the chat. So we may maybe for another 10 minutes or 15 minutes we can take this. So Bhargav, you can see in the chat. So by the time students post the questions, so they have to first think on so much things that you're bombarded at them. So
I'm so sorry. I think I have taken a little fast. I
yeah,
tried to
and
give an
you
example.
have asked them to make notes, which is very difficult for this generation. Right. But any
Obviously.
case,
Mm.
I would request the students to put their questions, put your name and the year also, so that it is easy. But to kickstart, by the time they text questions, let me ask 2 questions, which could be common questions also. Now, you don't
Mm.
need to reveal as such as said any company name. I mean,
Yeah,
you can.
sorry. I tried, sir, but
No, no. I'm
yeah.
saying for my question, the next two
Okay.
questions also will be something like which is like a hot cake kind of question. So you don't need to reveal
Okay.
any company name. You can
Okay.
tell in generic could be a
Mm.
response or the thought process. The first
Mm.
question is this. See, learning when it comes, I'm not going to the job. I'm actually
Mm.
talking about academic learning,
Mm.
right? To
Mm.
learn is more important than actually to score or get the grades, right?
Mm.
First, the
Mm.
student has to understand. Some
Mm.
students don't keep any arrears and they immediately clear everything in their first attempt itself. That's fine. It is very good. That is a very ideal condition.
Mm.
But there is
Mm.
nothing wrong in just failing in papers once and then passing it in the next attempt, right? So that means it is still fine as long as they are able to complete their study in 4 years of study or whatever. 3 year program means 3 years of study or something like that. It should be still okay. But
Okay.
then I guess many concerns, many enterprises do have a kind of a old system wherein they say that they should not have a history of backlogs, right?
Okay.
When the terms and conditions reaches to the placement office, something like that, they should not have a history of backlog. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as they finish and they are able to join, you can still give an offer letter. And if they don't join, if they don't finish, automatically the offer letter becomes null and void. Because you can tell
Exactly.
them the offer
Exactly.
letter is valid only if they finish within that 4 years or 3 years or whatever it is. So my first question is, why are we so very religious about still that no history of backlogs? This is my first
Okay.
question. And my second
Okay.
question is something in an interview, assuming that everything has went well. Now, how to negotiate my salary with HR? So these are two
Okay.
things I want to ask.
Okay.
I find HR people are very tough to convince.
Okay, so I'll try my best to answer your question, sir.
Yeah,
So basically, no history of backlogs. So some of the companies, like top
don't
companies, I
yeah,
don't want to
no
mention the
name is
names and
required,
all.
but yeah, generic
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. So basically, these companies want to maintain their standards or their in terms of like various upgradation, I mean accreditations or whatever might be XYZ reasons. So basically, what happens means when they are maintaining the quality of the students or quality of the people working over there in not only in one particular thing, they want to look at in all the aspects. So if I want to say in simpler words, to keep their standards or their minimum, we have the criteria of this level of employees who have that, from top notch institutes or whatever might be tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and this is the minimum grades we are, person over there working in that particular. Because when you get a large pool of applicants over there, so one of the criteria which I personally feel like we keep it over there, not only the percentage wise this 65 or 70 or whatever might be, but at the same time the no history of the backlogs. And to be frankly, I don't want to reveal the names. Many of the companies started coming out with this criteria of what is the reason for that as well. So like the my forthcoming wherever I'm going to join or the past as well. So we have, I mean, this is what my observation is. What you said is absolutely correct. Even in my case, in my batch, there was a lot of companies where they used to mention, but now the companies are giving a buffer of mentioning the reasons also why there was a history of the backlog over there. So I mean, if I want to say in a nutshell, one thing is about for the maintaining the standards in the organization to show the for any sort of accreditations or for any sort of any other reasons. So we want to keeping over there showing that these are the employees, this is the criteria, and we entertain only this institutes for this is the minimum percentage people where we can judge. And second point is that like we get a large pool of applicants over there, and in order to shortlist for those particular roles. So, I mean, one of the criteria is this is one, like no history of backlogs. But yes, big companies have started now providing, mentioning the reasons of that as well. Yeah. And second thing about your salary part, so negotiation of salary. So negotiation of the salary in the sense like if I want to say there are different parameters we consider over there. Suppose someone is joining from company to our company. So what we normally ask a lot of questions. I mean, I don't say bombarding, but we ask them like what was the fixed
No,
salary,
no,
what is
specifically for the fresher. I'm saying from the
okay,
university
specific.
I'm
Okay,
joining. I
okay.
just want students to also know that
Uh,
they should know how to bargain, because it should be a win-win situation both to the individual and to the company also. And it
okay.
should not like just because the company is giving job, whatever the salary, even if it is very
Yeah, yeah.
very at the lower level, you just get accepted it. You should know
Okay.
that this work demands this salary, and
Exactly.
it is the companies has to realize that and then award, because otherwise we always keep telling that there is more demand, there is more supply than demand, so they make the
Demand,
salary very
exactly.
less to the level
Mm,
that it is not sustainable itself at many
mm.
times. So I'm
So
talking
in
about
case,
uh,
mm,
uh,
freshers point of view. Okay.
freshers when they join, how to deal with
So
the salary.
so freshers when they join, if I want to say first and foremost thing, what is the USP for them? First, they can start talking about their USP compared to the other applicants or other or there in the market or whatever might be something which is they have done differently or achievements part. For example, they know XYZ software or there which very few people might be knowing in the market, and that particular software is applicable for the particular role. That is one area. What are the skill set they are having which might be differentiating from the other members or other candidates, or awards or there in terms of their academically or whatever the competitions they have participated over there. So when the fresher starts emphasizing on the USPs compared to the other normal like for like I mean I don't want, I mean it may deviate from the topic. Like for example, in case of HR, we have SHRM CP, something which very few people qualify that. If I say that I am a qualified SHRM CP certified professional from Society of Human Resource Management, out of 1,000 people, only one or two gets qualified. Otherwise, in case of gate rank, when they mention the gate rank of so and so, when might be very few people might have qualified for the gate. So their USPs have to be very strong when they are talking to a HR. First point. Second point, in terms of salary part, to be frankly, two areas I can bifurcate. So you can check it out as a fresher. They can start seeing the learning curve, how it's there, and in terms of other components in, like, the providing or their transportation, or in terms of the food allowances, or in terms of the week offs, with 6 day week or 5 day week, and what kind of ambience or atmosphere you are going to work over there. For example, in case of my last, before my MBA organization in Saudi, they used to provide hardship allowances for us, because one of the reason is I'm going to stay in offshore. I was staying in offshore where I have to stay away from the family, so some sort of extra allowances. So when you, as a fresher, when you are looking at negotiating the salary part, first point, take out your USPs in comparison to the others in the market. Second point, what kind of the other benefits you are going to get apart from your this thing, what the salary they are going to get, and the learning curve, that is very, very, very important. So initially you might be getting a little lesser salary or whatever might be. So I mean, this is even live case I can give. The in case of management, also management trainees, also they work for the top big fours and all, where the initial salary might be 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs, but the role what they got is very tremendous. Within 3 years, the salary goes from 7 to 18 or 19 LPA, because one of the main reason is the role. So if the role is good, and if you have the learning opportunities, if you are getting the other benefits, then you think on, like, your USPs, and then start negotiating on the salaries. So these are some
Fine.
areas which I immediately got in my mind.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So now you have got the questions. So people have thought. You want me
Oh,
to read the questions, or you can read
I'll
yourself?
read it. I'll read it. I'm so happy after a long time.
So the first
Yeah.
one is from Akash. He's
Akash,
actually an
greetings,
alumni.
alumni. Okay, hi Akash. Akash is from 2022 batch. As you said, the CV offers were one of the most crucial parameters in interviews to give the room for follow-up question. But what baffles me is the maximum length of the CV is different for many. As a HR point, does a CV be in a single page length? Is it a deal breaker? To be frankly to say, yes, we can keep a CV in a single page, first and foremost point. And when you are writing about your roles and responsibilities, don't write all the things what you have done in that particular role. Try to keep the crisp of 3 to 4 areas what you have achieved in that particular role. For example, I thought of sharing you one of the CV. This is our Sastra, my one of my best friend in Shastra, and he has done from IIM. I'll just show you one page CV. He has a 5 years of experience. Despite having 5 years, it's a one page CV only. It's not more than one page. I thought of showing to you during the presentation, but I have not shown. So basically, for your question, Akash, yes, we can compress it the CV into one page, and it is possible, and it has done for many of the the professionals as well, and you can do it in a very smart way. I'll just show it to you the screen so that it will be easy. Uh, so there are different areas which you can cover it. I'm unable to open it. Windows. Want to share. So when I said some points like 7 to 10 seconds it takes for anyone to screen your CV. So as I said, like it's the impression, the first impression is about your CV only. So it's not at all an ice deal breaker. I mean, a deal breaker what you mentioned over here. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's not able to see.
Maybe later on you can send it. Did you send
Yeah.
the form?
Uh, no,
I mean,
so
it's a sample CV you're saying, or it is
yeah, sample CV of my one of my Shastra friend itself. So where
okay?
you can see over there. So
What
in
you
in
can do is you
uh,
can inform him, get his permission, and then
yeah, I
share it.
already took the permission. One of
Then
your
you can later on share
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So that's
Sarvasiddhi
fine.
Gaurav. Yeah.
Right. No
So
issues.
yeah, so in to conclude your answer, yes, we can I mean we can keep it a simple and crisp manner in one page, and yes, we can complete all the areas in one page itself. It's there already, the formats which are following by many of the top institutes, and as well as yeah, you can mention in your roles and responsibilities not everything what you are doing, conducting training, doing this XYZ. Mention what are the key areas which you have given a solid output to the organization, increased the sale of 20% over there in comparison to 2021, or mention it over there. If you are a salesperson, you have conducted number of prospects visited was 120% greater than what was provided to me. So what output you have achieved in that particular role, try to give that 4 5 very solid things, so you can actually you can put it over there in one page. So that's the thing. I'll share you the CV as well.
So the next is
uh,
from a first
some
year student.
Sarvesh Mohan. I'm Sarvesh Mohan from the first year of chemical engineering. It is nice to mention our strength and weakness in our CV. If the company you are going to apply is mostly based on team working and you are not that good in it, but you are ready to learn and make yourself better, would you prefer to mention the weakness or not? If else, how would you make your weakness as strength? And your sessions, okay, when informative, okay. So basically in this case, I mean, we don't mention it over their strengths and weakness in the CV most of the places, but if you as a fresher you might have mentioned it over there. But you can mention, you can explain in this way, I'm improving in that particular area of, I'm previously whatever the till my, you are in the first year itself right now, right? So till my 12th standard it was more of my academics, it was more of my education and studying over there and putting getting the grades and marks. And after joining over there in the university, where I not only the academics is a part of that, apart from academics I have to work on the different areas like the programs or attending the poster or presentation competitions. It's not a solo contributor where the teamwork is initially you might be starting now, so the hiccups you might have faced, the problems in terms of talking to people. So how the areas of improvement consciously you have worked on that you can talk on that area. Because now you are in the first year and you have 4 years over there from now onwards. My suggestion or my sub, I mean, what if I want to say, if I'm there in your position means I try to improve. Instead of using the word weakness, I can say like I'm improving this particular aspect slowly and gradually, and you can start from where you have started and consciously where you kept the efforts, how the conversations went over there. So you can talk, you cannot go on talk a conversations just like that. Some, there should be some purpose or objective when you're going when you're doing a project, group project. So how you can start taking the initiative and start talking to people like, okay, we shall we approach in this way.
Okay. Uh, Hello, Bhargav. I'm not able to hear you. Bhargav. Bhargav, I'm not able to hear you. Yeah, Bhargav.
uh,
Bhargav. Hello. Yeah. So, am I audible first to others?
Hello sir,
Yes, sir.
is it audible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bhargav.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Bhargav, you
Yeah,
got.
so
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So
So
you can take the
yeah,
next question. Samir.
yeah, Samir, just a minute.
No, that's curious. He wants your note.
Hi.
You asked him to make
Samir, Anna, do you
notes.
have still? To be frankly, I was having my thermodynamics notes, and even the prospects when I used to visit, I explained them the adiabatic process, how the thermal expansion happens. Very layman wouldn't take a thermoflax at your home, and how do you, to do the what does it mean exactly, how the process and all, what is the calculations of this combustion and all. So I used to have till my before my MBA. Even now, I think so. I am having, but I have to check it out once.
No, you can ask him to make his own notes.
Yeah, that is
No,
also
same.
one good.
Anna, I have just seen your notes in the PPT, and you have mentioned in the block diagram triangles, and you have mentioned.
Okay, that is my MBA UGC net. I am just preparing for that UGC net exam. So this MBA HR notes.
So Samir
So
is
that is.
unlucky. Okay. So next.
So next
Next is
question. Hi
Lakshmi.
Bhagavana, I am Lakshmi Priya from 22 batch.
She's
When we
also,
have
yeah,
not received a
alumni.
response from the companies after reaching out the job opportunities, how can we follow up them professionally without coming across as a desperate? So to be frankly, Lakshmi, even I also face the same problem. So before that, whenever you're approaching through any company through LinkedIn or any other portals, try to keep your profile updated, because people writes very minimal information and it looks like a fake profile. This is one area which I observed. So to keep your profile updated, it's fine. Then out of the hit rate for in terms of getting it also, like it's like a sales only, out of 100 or 200, there is no thumb rule and all. Sometimes it get converted very easily, sometimes as a being a fresher I can understand. So as I said, like some of the areas where you need to, where they will be providing you some sections to update your project details, your everything. So try to provide it as much as details, so there is chances like reverting from the recruiter side. But yes, I mean, I don't want to deny on this aspect, very few people might be reverting because of getting many applications. But yes, to some extent you follow up. If they are not reverting, you can drop an email and you can stop for that particular prospect. But when you got a call and then you have attended the interview, then it's very important to, you should be desperate enough to, to call back and ask them about the status on weekly basis or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you cannot
So,
expect that every
yeah,
thing should be like
thank you. So
converted.
on a very lighter note,
uh, I
it's
mean, I'm
not.
not a HR in that way. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I'm
I understood. And not to Bhargav on a lighter
so.
note, but to all students. Now, this is again not to Lakshmi. So now
Uh,
you understand, right? Like when people write email, you need to respond. So when I
oh.
send message, students have to respond. When I send email, students have to respond, be it in WhatsApp or in email, right? So in a
Hmm.
sense, responding to an email should become a virtue. If it becomes a value
Virtue.
system, then it actually pays everywhere. So this
Hmm.
has nothing to do with either Bhargav or Lakshmi because both of them
Yeah.
are different. So
Yeah, because
let's,
the followers might be very huge
yeah.
and they get hundreds of
Next
messages.
we'll
Yeah.
go to next question
Then
of
Priyadarshini
Priyadarshini.
from 2024 batch,
Final
you
year.
said that one page CV is better as time taken to go through each CV is less. But if a CV
I
should be
think this
one
we
page, then
answered.
how is, yeah, I think I'll provide you people. Don't worry at all. You can happily write. And I have you the examples also mentioned over there, the statements, how to frame it as well. Okay, then Gokulnath, please help me with this doubt. Is there possibility to negotiate salary in the same job after a year with HR or reporting manager, or is it deal to change a job for the salary boost? What is expected from the associate? Okay, so basically, HR is the person not deciding factor. You're managing a manager or reporting boss in simple way. What is the work you have? What was the work you have done for the 1 year? What are the kind of value additions to the organizations you have done? And what kind of learnings you have brought to the system, whatever might be process wise or anything. Try to make a note of all these things when you're going for the negotiation. Obviously, I mean, in my case, or a couple of cases also it happened, is they are ready to provide the thing which I have demanded over there, because one of the main reason with the data I used to go with them. So data plays a very important role. Make a note from the day one, or otherwise introspect yourself. So which are the areas which you have done beyond extraordinary, or whatever the targets are there more than that you have achieved, or so emphasize on those things. Definitely, even if not over there in the hike of the salary, but in terms of the bonus, there will be an increment over there, the differential amount. Instead of giving in the salary, there will be chances of in terms of rewarding or recognizing that particular. And this is one way you can start doing it. So this is what the answer I can
Next is
give
also
it.
an alumni, Venkatanathan.
Vengadhanand 22 batch. I just want to know, sharing your opinion, views, and what is required today. When I saw the agenda in the email, I could not connect. I could connect personally, as it was some of the topic that I had doubts on. I'm really glad that you brought this. Hopefully, a lot of friends are were able to benefit. Thanks a lot. Oh, thank you so much. I know this is not a regular session. I told already, and thanks a lot. Now, okay, I think we are done, sir. I
Okay.
just want everyone to open the camera on for a minute.
Oh, I don't know.
Uh,
They may not be camera presentable, so we cannot
okay.
have that.
Okay.
Never take such a risk in online class. That's the learning I have
I
got in
thought like to just
uh,
take a picture or a screenshot of this.
right.
So,
So
uh,
that's fine.
yeah, it's okay.
Any other question anybody has?
Uh, okay. Okay, I switched on my camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gokul has a question.
One last question from my end. In current scenario of job market, as application process works better for the interview chance, or internal reference would give the high probability for a fresher or okay, it's a very good question. So basically, when I said like the networking part is important, try to connect with the people over there on LinkedIn. Suppose if you see a particular job post in XYZ company, and in your LinkedIn connection there is a particular person who is working over there, try to talk to that person and then try to give a referral. It will, I mean, reference, as you, for your question, yes, probability of getting your converted your reference is more than that of your from the external side. So yeah, for your question, yeah, external more than external, the internal references works a lot. And how to do this? Through LinkedIn or any sort of the connections which you are having, try to approach them. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So I have made a request. People who are presentable, they can just put on. So that's fine. So Lakshmi is actually now in Spain, right?
Okay, Lakshmi is in Spain. Lakshmi Priya,
No,
In
Lakshmi.
Finland now, sir.
Yeah,
in
Finland.
Finland.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
nice.
So
Okay.
people have joined from every time zones for you.
So happy, so happy.
Right. Sarveshu
Our
is
pleasure,
smiling in
sir.
the first year. Ah,
Ah, yeah.
Lakshmi, come on.
No, no, I said our pleasure to
Yeah,
attend this
yes.
meeting.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So if there are no other questions, right, I'll just wait
I think
for.
I cannot take a screenshot on this, right?
No, I don't know. Maybe I
I
can
know,
take an,
sir.
or
I
in the
sorry.
videos you can freeze. It is
I
anyway
I
recording.
tried a couple of times, but I think it's not working over here.
Okay.
So yeah,
For the video, when it is uploaded, you can freeze probably.
yeah, okay.
Right.
I'm
So
so sorry for one thing. I might have spoke a little bit fast. So yeah, that's the only
yes.
thing. I'm trying on this aspect to improve myself. So that's it.
There's one question.
One
Okay,
question.
there's one question.
I'm having doubt on skills explanation by the experience. If you don't have it, so the experience, I said, like I gave example of in terms of the Prakriya event, I gave you the example. Whatever the tech fest you have done, or whatever the the 4 years of your duration participated over there in particular thing. So take those examples only for your explanation purpose. Not always like the work experience of the industry experience is needed. Even you have done project management, I always say like how I have coordinated for my brother's marriage, how planning, coordinating, managing, controlling. So everywhere you can apply the skills, whatever the soft skill, either in the personal as well as in the professional. But in your case, you can start using intro. That's what introspection is very important in terms of finding out those examples of what you have done in the past related to the particular skill. So that's it. Yeah.
Right. Okay, fine. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, so if there are no other questions, I'm sure that many people will bombard you now on how to write a one-page resume, which an
It's
HR
okay. It's not at all a
is
problem,
supposed
sir.
to read. And I'm also very happy in one response that you gave to Lakshmi, that
Uh,
even a HR person has a toughness in getting a call back from another company's HR is a very nice thing to know. Is it? You should
no,
consider.
Lakshmi is also HR.
No, Lakshmi is not a HR. I'm saying from
Okay.
your
I'm
response
stuck.
to her,
No, no, no. I mean, I don't want to hide or to put
uh,
some.
Lakshmi is a master's graduate.
Okay, nice.
Right.
Second year student now.
Okay,
Right.
good, good.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I think it's a pleasure to have you, Bhargav, and I thank all of you joining today on a Sunday afternoon, especially when India and Australia are battling now. I didn't see the score, what's happening there, right? But still, that's fine, whatever was happening there, and with the events just happening across the, yeah, somebody has already put 112 for 13. Right. So, and with events happening just across the Shastra University, and this is, I think, probably the first G-Meet where we have from first year to alumni attending and G-Meet itself. So that is something, the strength I would see of our chemical engineering department, where we have this alumni meet series, and we will continue. It is not going to stop at 32. I think we will reach 100 sometime. Right, sure, we will reach 100. Thank you, Bhargav. Thank you all, to all the alumni,
Sir,
to all the current students who have joined and who have raised the questions.
yeah,
Thank you.
I just posted my LinkedIn profile. If anyone wants, you can connect. And if you have any sort any kind of support you needed, I'm happy to help you out. Okay.
except you should not share the Bhargav's thermodynamic notes. FM notes and thermodynamic notes are not to be shared.
Yeah.
Rest all can be shared. Right. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm stopping the recording.
Yeah.